All right, let's get going again. Anthony, what's going on, man? Cheyenne, you back at it again. Both of you fellas. Continuation from last night, huh? Tony, hello, hello. Good to see you guys. How are you guys going? It's freaking chilly in here. So, warm up and bench again. Party like it's 2012. That's right. Oh wow, Sinner Djokovic tomorrow. To be honest with you, man, I've completely lost track of Roland Garros, man. I spoke to a friend that is a proper tennis fan. Uh, he knows a lot about it. Followed it all his life, and even he hasn't had time to keep up with all the tennis talk and what's happening. So I don't even know like the Djokovic and Sinner were matched up for tomorrow. There you go, Anthony. There you go. How good is it? Dead stop deadlift, man. Unbelievable. Hits your quads. See, this morning I've woken up with sore glutes. Sore glutes from those sets, which is interesting in itself. Like the exercise is twice as good than when you're just bouncing it. It's so much better. Yeah, Shan, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, yeah. Bench and squat and a bit of squat, like very, just singles. I'm sore from yesterday, so I'm going to skip deadlifts today, even though I really would like to do them. I'm feeling sore, so back is sore as well from the deads. I'm going to skip today, and then tomorrow I'm going to do deadlifts, but obviously not 5 sets. I'm going to try and do like, I don't know, maybe 2 sets, maybe 3 sets, something like that. And obviously without the 20 repper, just do the tens, 10 reps in reserve. So I should be back on track. Although tomorrow I might pull up even more sore, so we'll see. It was a lot of work that I did yesterday. Barbell lifter, who am I tipping for NBA finals? I just got off the phone to a friend. We were talking about this very, very topic. It's interesting, right? Because OKC are the favorite, obviously, on paper. But as they say, styles make the fight. I'm really intrigued to see what Pacers can do. They go 10 deep, kind of like OKC, but the whole way they play, kick the ball ahead, very fast pace, it might do something. Obviously, OKC is a lot better in the half court, a lot better with Shea, doing the midi game and all that. But it will be interesting to see game one, to see how it all pans out because, yeah, it's hard to pick. My gut says it's probably going to be OKC that wins it all. But the Pacers have a unique style. It's a completely different style. So I'm really, really intrigued to see what happens. Akshay from North Korea, how you going, man? Toxic Gaming, name a car for an edit. Listen, Sylvia. Duncan, what's going on, man? How are you? Another night shift. Let's go, man. Nikola, kako je, brate? Živio? Kamza Shimaev. Do I watch MMA? Yeah, I do. I keep up with it. I watch the highlights of all the big fights. So you know, when there's big clashes, definitely I watch, but I don't watch, you know, everything. That's never been me. Um, yeah, there's been some really good fights over the years. Execution Sommet. What's going on, man? Yeah, it's not a bad day today. Not a bad day. Can't complain. What about you? All right. Oh man, that's firing me up. That's three already. Yeah, I do have DOMs, man. I've got DOMs in the glutes. Those are the worst bit. Um, and traps, like the rear deltoids maybe bit, but the upper traps they're sore as well from those deads yesterday. So yeah, I'm gonna give deadlifts a skip today. Give it a chance to catch up. You know, recovery. So today I'll try and do 3 sets again of the 23 bench, and I'll try and do again a little bit of squatting singles. It's hard when you're sore, but I'll do something. Say hi to the weights. I'm looking tired. Well, I do feel tired. Yeah. Uh, I'm sore. Warm the shoulders up and get benching. Do I still get DOMs on the hammies? Oh, it depends what you do, dude. If you're really sore and you're sore for about a week, you've done too much. You're probably training hamstrings once a week, and you're always going to have that issue of lots of DOMs because you're doing enough volume for the entire week. Whereas the way I train, um, I break that volume up throughout every day, kind of thing. If not every day, then at least twice, 3 times a week, I'll do certain movements. So, yeah, that's the good positive about, you know, high frequency training. That's a good bit about it. Samurai Jack, I don't know what that is. Appreciate it. Shubansky's. Take a rest. You're working too much. Ah, there's always an answer for that, right? Um, when none of us are working hard enough. Think about what your grandfather did and how hard he worked. We got it too easy, bro. Um, we've all gone a bit soft in the 21st century. It's rather embarrassing when you think about what your grandfather and his father, what they did, how hard they worked. We've got it bloody easy, man. I'm not doing anything. I'm just freaking bench pressing, man. Like, what the hell is that? For an hour and a half, you know. Should I get a trophy for that? Not working hard enough, man. You should. Shia LaBeouf, huh? Man, I get that so often. And David, I'm sure, is laughing because of that. Um, oh, Lord. I guess we all look like someone, don't we? Oh, that's four. That is burning up. More pumped than yesterday. Probably deadlift related, isn't it? Um, Thank you, dude. Appreciate your name. Um, Comes out sleep, but I have to get this workout in. Oh, dude. Just if you think you've got it tough, just think about people that you've heard about, that you've read about, people in your family, perhaps people in sports, or there's people that work hard, dude. Like, being tired is not special. It's not special, dude. No one cares. First of all, that's the first thing I say to myself. You're tired? Good for you, dude. No one gives a shit. Get on with it. That's not an excuse. That's not anything. Most people stop when they get tired, and that's what separates people, right? The people that are not mentally tough enough, they'll quit when it gets a little bit uncomfortable. The people that are really mentally tough and perhaps even hungry, they'll push on and achieve great things and do wonderful things. You can't have comfort and achievement at the same time. It's one or the other. And you make that decision every day. So I might look tired, I might feel tired, I might whatever. It doesn't matter. There's work to be done. You gotta do your shit, yeah. Spencer. Yeah, I reckon I read your comment about Spencer. Yeah. I might have even looked him up when you mentioned it, but I can't recall exactly um, who he was or what he was about. I can't remember now. But I do remember hearing about this. Hello, hello. Thank you, Kamzat. Appreciate it, your name. Mm. The good thing about these lives is that I can really track how long the workout has been. That's another really good thing about these lives. I see this warm up has already been 15 minutes. And so it's like I can check myself. Oh, lemon lime squeeze. That's a lot, dude. Every day. Bodyweight squats still get you good. Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that, man. I learned that a while ago. No disrespect on bodyweight squats at all. That shit will get you pumped up like nothing else. If you can do 100 straight, you're a monster. Absolute monster. I certainly can't do 100 straight. I have to stop, take a few breaths, and then go from there. There we go. First part of the warm up is done. Now time to hit the bench. Let me fix some of this stuff up. Alrighty. I'm gonna move the bloody deadlift bar out of the way. Fold this over the top. Bob's your uncle. There we go. There we go. We're 17 minutes in, eh? Oh, Lord. Oof. Ooh. Man, I could really have a good sleep on a bench like this. So good for your back. All right, let's get the bench warm up going. Oh, my traps are sore as shit now. Oh, this might be a struggle to get 23 today. Oh, man. All right. That is a lot of reps. I'm feeling warm as now. Whew. No idea. Yeah, so bench is flying at the moment, and I'm just trying to feed whatever is flying at the moment. So uh, bench is definitely taking most of my recovery points right now. I'm in a bloody good groove, and I'm progressing it really well. So I'd be a fool not to continue to push it. Do you plan to also try shorter sets with heavier weights and squats? No. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do either one or the other. So either deadlifts or squats. I'm not going to do both. And I decided to do deadlifts first, heavier weight, more reps in reserve. And I'll do that, and I'll see how it all goes. But generally speaking, anytime I hit the glutes and the posterior chain in general, everything feels good. Whereas if I push squats, then I start to have a need for, doing all sorts of rehab business. Squats cost me a lot, whereas deadlifts take care of themselves. Anthony, one thing you mentioned yesterday is passing was floor press. Is it something you've done in the past? Asking as I haven't got bench, and I was thinking of trying today. I'll tell you something about the floor press. It is amazing. I've tried it in the past, and the craziest thing about the floor press is that it gives me more chest or pec DOMs than any other form of benching. It is really weird. You would think that it would be triceps or whatever else. No. The floor press is amazing. And Louis Simmons, somebody that I respect greatly, rest in peace, he always said that if you PR your floor press, your regular press will also go up. So that is the effectiveness of it. Floor pressing is amazing. It's generally used more for kind of like your lockout strength, that type of thing. So I haven't done a lot of it in the past because my problem has always been at the chest. I don't get stuck kind of like at that level. But even so, I think it's an incredible exercise. It's an incredible movement to incorporate, without a doubt. You won't go wrong with it, and especially if you don't have a bench, it's great to set up somehow. I don't know how you'd set it up, but I've seen people set it up without even having pins or anything. Like you just kind of roll it into position. I've never tried that though, so I don't know. But yeah, it's one of those go-to exercises that in the powerlifting community people have a lot of respect for. All right, one plate is on. Nice, Anthony. I'm interested to see how you find it. Oh. Oh, this microphone's a bit too low. I put it up a bit. I think that's better now. Yeah, generally I do have an idea. Yesterday I did 3 sets of this new rep scheme. So I know today's is going to be, I'm going to be very happy if I get 3 sets today. So it's an added workload. Yesterday, the third set really was basically 0 reps in reserve. Or it was in fact 0 reps in reserve. So that was like a max set yesterday. So I never 100% know how I'm going to feel on the day, depending on the fatigue that I'm carrying already and whatever other factors, how you just generally feel on the day. But if I get 3 sets today, in fact, I'll stop at 3 sets. Anytime you kind of go up a workload, it's a good idea to stay there for a little while, let things settle in, and then go from there. You don't want to get into a situation where you're trying to progress too quickly, because then you're going to kind of run out of steam and you're going to end up regressing. So you need to kind of stay, if you're thinking about that step periodization, you need to stay in that period for a little while. Even though you might be strong enough to get more reps, it's fine. Stay there. Let the mechanisms behind all that biology kind of take place for you to get stronger. You don't just get every rep every day that's on offer. That's training maximally every day, and that's not going to go well for you. You have to just kind of give it time, and that's how you allow, let's say, the SRA curve to happen. Stimulus, recovery, adaptation, right? If you're always maxing, you're always in the stimulus phase. You never let recovery happen. But that doesn't mean, recovery does not mean you have to go completely ICU level bed rest with anesthesia running through your veins and you're not moving anything. No. It's just that exertion level needs to be, controlled, so you're not always pushing maximally. If you do that, you're going to get into trouble. Yeah, appreciate it, David. The algorithm is what it is. I've never been one to, allow these type of external things to dictate how I live my life. I really, really enjoyed these streams. Yesterday was amazing. I really enjoyed the stream, so I'll just do what feels right, and that's kind of how I started YouTube. I didn't start YouTube for it to be a job or for me to just look at analytics every day and stress over those. Nah, just focus on the internal stuff. What makes me happy, and that's it. That's what this channel is about, and that's what I'm about. So I'm glad to hear that you're also enjoying it. Yeah, box squats are a funny one. Box squats, lemon lime. I had a bad experience with it. That's kind of the overarching feeling. My knee started hurting. I was probably doing it wrong. And box squats probably pay off the best if you're doing it how Louis said. Wide stance, mostly posterior chain, no quads. That's probably where you get most effects. I was trying to squat how I normally squat, but just down to a box, and my knee started freaking out, which I don't have a history of knee trouble. So when I feel knee trouble, something's really off. For that reason, I think it is far better to do pin squats or whatever height you need to be, because pin squats don't make you deviate away from your normal bar path, whereas box squats have you sit back. You don't sit back when you squat normally. I mean, at least I don't, the way I squat. And so that sitting back thing is just complete abnormal part of your natural movement. So, all right, let me try and get 23 here. Man, these are tough. 23s are real fucking tough for me. Oh. Greg, how you going, man? Welcome back. Set 10 rep maxes yesterday for pendlay row and flat bench. Nice, man. 10 reps is plenty. It's a good amount of work. You get strong in 10s, your 20s will go up and your 1s will go up, for sure. Good work, man. So you do chest and back all in one. Nice, push pull. Rubs, I'm 36, I'm not Russian, I'm Serbian. No, I don't know anyone who does editing at all. This has always been just a one-man show for me. Oh, if you go wide stance squats, lemon lime, you could probably do boxes as well. Try whatever. Horse stance, nice. Yeah. I love doing horse stance, but that's not my strong stance at all. Which probably tells me something. Which muscles are strong, which ones are weak. My hips are probably not the strongest. Yeah, the rattle, man, Danish. I love freaking hearing it, dude. I love the rattle. Just gets you freaking high. Yeah, this is 100, Cheyenne, 100. Yeah, 10 reps is great. Yeah, overhead press for me, man, is, I spoke about it yesterday as well. A lot of people ask me about overhead press. I feel like there's a lot of people that care about overhead press, which is rightly so. It's a cool movement, but to me, I feel like it's inferior to bench press. That's me. Might not be across the board for everyone, but the reason why I say this is that it's very hard to increase its pressing, the numbers on the overhead press. Very hard. I've tried it many times before. I wanted to be good at it. And it made sense to me in the past. I remember some of the thoughts I had around it was, you know, overhead press is going to get your, you know, upper back strong. That's probably going to carry over to the way you rack the bar in the back squat and probably your front squat. So it's going to be better carryover to the squat in general. And I cared about it a lot back in the day. In fact, before I did squat every day, I did overhead press every day for a little while as well. There's no documentation of that. And that was all inspired by Pavel Tsatsouline, the book that he wrote, Power to the People, and he's spoken at length about overhead press. He's, one of his quotes that always sticks with me is that he said, if you want to press a lot, you have to press a lot, meaning volume, frequency. You need a lot of pressing to get good at overhead press. And something that I heard, not him, but other people say, lots of the old timers used to say, oh, you know, if you compare overhead press to bench press, one is clearly a winner, and that one is going to be always overhead press because you increase your overhead press, your bench will go up as well without even training it. But the opposite is not true. You know, if you just do bench press and you increase your bench press, your overhead press won't go up. And I thought, okay, cool. Overhead press wins. Let me just do overhead press. And my bench press never increased. My overhead press did increase a little bit. My bench never did. And the overhead press is hard to increase. I was like, what the hell is this? And so once I kind of experienced that and I concluded that in my mind, I was like, you know what, screw this shit. I don't believe this. I went the other way and I started benching like a madman around the time that I injured my ankles, couldn't do anything, squat or deadlift. Started benching every day, 2-3 times a day, in fact. I was on sick leave. And I got really good at the bench press, you know. High frequency for pressing is amazing. But also when I tested back my OHP, what do you know? Went up. So maybe I'm just different or whatever. Maybe that's my anecdote, whatever. It might not apply to you, but that's been my experience. So I don't particularly agree that the overhead press is a superior movement. I think it's the other way. I think the bench is better. Now that maybe is dependent upon how you build, your weaknesses, strengths or whatever. But for me, bench press is better. I remember around that time when I was doing the overhead press, I would get a lot of like rhomboid knots, muscle knots, like wry necks. Wake up in the morning, I remember many times I would have like a wry neck from overhead pressing a lot. And with bench press, there's none of that. So there you go. I don't know what you guys were saying while I was saying that. Condimos, Ivan, someone started talking steroids for quick results. Taking would never probably realize 20 plus sets of on bench press would be a solution to increase your 1RM. What do you think? If someone started taking steroids for quick results, would never probably realize 20 plus sets of. I don't know what to say to that, man. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, 20 sets is a lot. And steroids alone won't make you just be able to overnight take 20 sets. It doesn't turn you into an animal overnight. There needs to be some sort of periodization. You bench over 226? Damn. Greg, I have 2 upper body days, one focused on all torso and one shoulders and arms, and 2 lower body days, one focused on the hip, one focused on the knees and ankles. Ah, that is an interesting split. I've never heard that before, Greg. That's interesting. That is interesting. I like that. All right, let me try and get another set here. I don't know why I'm nervous. I'm nervous about these sets now all of a sudden. Which tells me that I don't have a lot of reps in reserve on these sets. If I start to feel nerves. Feeling nervous about this is going to be tough. Or whatever, I got one set. Even if I have to call it there, that's fine. Stay with 23s for some time. All right. Fuck. Feels like I was benching that step forever. Oh, God. 23 reps. I feel like I don't know how long those freaking sets are. More than a minute. Yeah. Well, Shane, yeah, two-ish reps per breath, something like that. Yeah. It's hard to breathe and brace at the same time, so it's like a freaking get as many as you can type deal. Yeah, Shane, I think it is progressing nicely. Definitely 100 is feeling easier and easier. My max is 27 now. 27 as an AMRAP with 100. The deal is to get to 30. When I get to 30, I'll maybe chill out for 1 or 2 days or something, take it lighter. And then I'll try 160. If I hit 160 or not, I will go up to a different weight. I don't know what that's going to be, maybe 110. 110 for the same deal, 20s. And then just go from there. Chase 30 reps with 110 and so on and so on. It just feels great, man. It feels like my shoulders feel good. Elbows, I'm filling out. I feel just strong and powerful. Yeah, David. Okay, it was fast, you reckon? It's just sometimes I don't know. It's weird how the brain works. Sometimes when I get to 8 reps and 12 reps, those two are like big checkpoints for me. If I get to 8 reps and I feel still like powerful, it's good. If I get to 12 reps and I still feel in control and I'm not deviating my elbows, then I'm like, okay, 20's there. But if the 12th rep I start to do some funny business where I'm kind of going towards my neck, then I know I might struggle to get to 20. And I can even sense that with set of 8. Like basically when I go to 8, I try to just fucking bang. I try to like powerfully move it. I put more power in the bar than it needs. Trying to like manhandle it in a way. And then I settle between 8 to 12. I settle down. And then I try to outlast it to 20. No, that was fine. Sorry, but I meant 20 plus reps. Oh, Con, about the steroids. Well, dude, I don't know what to tell you. I think steroids, I don't have any experience with it, but from what I can tell, it helps whatever you want. Whatever you're doing, it helps. I'm not an expert at it, but I would definitely assume that if you're doing 20s, you're going to add more tissue. It makes sense to me that way. Michael Bull, good morning, man. Good morning. Appreciate you, dude. I'm at it again. I think with 110, you might have to reduce the sets to 2 or 3 because, in my opinion, 110 for 20 would be quite near failure. Yeah, I think so as well. So the idea is to get 23s up to sets of 5 on the regular. And when I've done that, I reckon, I'll be able to get to 30. I just felt like in the last few weeks, going from 20 as working sets all the way to 30 on the AMRAP might be too much of a reach. It's too far. That's kind of why I've increased it to 23, reduced the sets, increased the reps, and just get comfortable with 23s, and I reckon then 30 becomes within striking range. If I go to 110, then I reset the whole thing, kind of like what I've done with 23s. 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, excellent. Maybe even 1 set initially. It just depends how it feels. If I feel after the first set there's a few reps left in reserve, then I'll add another set and so on. But that's kind of how I did the whole workup. Even when I was doing 60 kilos, when I first started, I was doing sets of 20, 3 sets 20. Did that for whatever, a bunch of days, a week. Then I added a 4th set and a 5th set. And when I added the 5th set, then I started doing some AMRAPs, got to 30. Then I started doing 30s on the regular for working sets. And then eventually, it's funny, when I got to 30, then I started adding set after set. I got to 7 sets of 30 with 60 kilos. And then that catapulted me to go from 30 to 50 reps in one set. Obviously, 60 kilos is not like 100 kilos in terms of body weight percentage and all the rest of it. But that's kind of how I approached it. So I'm hoping I can do similar things. Although I think when the weight gets heavier, I'm going to have, you know, shorter gaps between the working sets and my AMRAP sets. So a set of 23 is a lot better to work with than a set of 20, purely because 23 is, you know, more proximal to that 30 repper. Greg says, about 7 years ago, I actually did a self-experiment where I squatted every day too, but only for 365 days. Ultimately, my squat improved much in that time, but my deadlifts went up a ton without doing it. There you go. Similar experience to me. When I only did deadlifts, my squat did not improve in the slightest. There you go. Interesting. I wonder if you did those deadlifts dead stop, because that's something that I'm working on now. I'm about to kind of sink my energy into that. I'm interested to see if that's going to be different. I don't know if you did dead stops or not. I think 102 for 20, 2-3 sets for a week and a half, then bump it to 104. Easier mental to do less sets and knowing you'll hit the reps. Yeah, I could do that. I definitely could do that, like micro load it. I mean, I do have 1.25 kilo weights. But I never liked doing that because I always felt like, okay, if I'm adding 2.5 kilos, why don't I just add another set of where I am and just spend more time there? I always loved emphasizing volume work over weight. For some reason, that always, like, it pisses me off to put a fractional plate on. It just pisses me off. What are you doing? You know, I don't know why I feel that way. Even with squats, I was like always wanting to jump in 10 kilo increments on PRs. It took me a while for people to, you know, kind of convince me to go, dude, you don't have to jump so much. It's too tough mentally to do that. So for bench, 20 plus ish reps at 67 max. Yeah, I suppose if you're to do, the trouble is, like with me right now, right? Like, what is my true 1 rep max? I don't know. I hit 155, but I think if I was to peak now, I'd be more than that. So, you know, if you're starting out and you're trying to make a program and you're using 67% because that's what I'm doing or whatever, it's hard. It's hard because I never really set my program up like that. I'm not doing percentages. I'm just focused on the working sets and progressing them. I'm not reverse engineering it like a percentage attempts to do. You know, reverse engineering is, okay, my max is 140. I want to work with 60%. Is going to be this. And then you start from there. No, I started with 30%, whatever freaking 60 kilos is. You know, not 40%, whatever the hell it is. Started working with that. I didn't care what my max was. Ethan, thank you, man. Sean says, I think the hardest thing is to balance recovery from session to session. Balancing stimulus recovery is the game. So lower sets kind of guarantees recovery in a sense. Yeah, although, you know, you could have lower sets, but freaking next to no reps in reserve, and that also costs you. So it's a balancing act between all of it. Intensity, volume, frequency, all that stuff matters. Like yesterday's workout, I feel like took a lot more out of me, those 3 sets of 23, than 5 sets of 20 would have taken out of me. Or even 7 sets of 20. Like that last rep that I did on the last set really was everything. So that's a lot. It's raining now. I love training when it rains. Freaking love it. All right, let's do the third set now. See how this one feels. Big stretch. Oh my God. That back is sore from yesterday. Well, that was definitely better than yesterday, for sure. Definitely better. Oh man. Yesterday, the last set killed me. Today, better. Finish that shit strong. Thank you, Lemon Lime. Nice, Anthony. How good is having your own space to train? Freaking love it. Best thing I ever did. Can't get enough of this. All right. I'm more than capable of another set. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to spend some time with 3 sets of 23. Another 3, 4, 5 days or something like that. Really get comfortable with it. And then we go up. Gym, it's the best thing, man. It's one of the best things. Three instead of the 10s I'm doing now, which probably also affected it. Yeah, Greg, that's the thing. There's also that bias as well. When you look back, I spent a lot of time looking back in my journal, and a lot of times I'm like, but I didn't have the knowledge that I have right now. So there's always like, you take the history of your training with a grain of salt, because, it's hard to know exactly what you were thinking at the time. And then, in my journal I write a lot, but you can't really incorporate everything. So it's important to kind of make track of it, track it all, but, I don't know. Like, I think to myself, if you did dead stop deadlifts, you'll be able to get more work done with less weight, that's for sure. But also it depends on how you are. Like, if you struggle off the floor, sure, that would help. But if you struggle at the top, it might not help. You might get a lot of benefit from doing like an RDL-ish type of deadlift where you're bouncing the weight off the floor. Because the bounce, really what it does, it trains the top portion, You're not breaking that inertia every time. There's momentum in the bar. So, it just depends. Depends on a lot of these things. All right, let me do some squats now. Deficit deadlifts. Yeah. If you do them with a dead stop as well, Absolutely. I would subscribe to that idea for sure. All right, let me load some weight on. We'll do some singles with the squat. Singles are so freaking easy compared to what I did yesterday. Damn. Oh, shit. Go up to maybe 160 again today. It makes sense. It makes sense to take it easy, do singles on the squat while I rep it out on the deadlift. You can't really rep both out, man. They're too taxing. I tried it for a week or two. Didn't get anywhere. But now with this dead stopped deadlift, I really want to take this for a ride and see how it feels. But I have to make sure I don't overdo it with recovery purposes. So, but also have to make sure that I don't do too heavy here. Oh man, I'm feeling my upper back like crazy. Damn. Probably should have done the empty bar for a few. I just remembered I didn't even do the barbell. I just went straight to bloody singles. That's dumb. So far I've been doing sets of 30 with 60 kilos. Now I'm just going, I'll screw that up. I'll change it up tomorrow. That's silly. I've got trip hazards with these tiny little weights my kids use. All right, 140 here. Now I'm feeling my traps like crazy. And erectors from the deadlift. I'm sure that would help a max squat. Yeah, I feel that in my upper back. Definitely. That's it. No more. My back is fried. It's amazing, those deficit deadlifts. Man, what a recovery. deadlift stop. Dead stop deadlifts. What a discovery, man. So the first few times that I did 20 and 30 rep deadlifts with 70 kilos and then 120, no glute, DOMs like this. I'll start doing dead stop deadlifts. Bang, glutes get fired up, which is interesting, right? And that's where I struggled the most. Very interesting. Oh, sound drop on. Damn. Was the sound dropping out, was it? I don't know why that's happening. Hopefully it's fixed now, huh? I think there's bad weather coming in over us, so maybe that's got something to do with it. Yeah. Ah, maybe that's what it is. I'm further away from the router. Let me go this way. Well, the session is over, so I'll just chill here. No need to go back over there. Yeah, the weather's coming over us. Maybe it's a good idea to end it here. I'll end it here, fellas. I'll for the squat, I used to work with very heavy hyperextensions for pure lower back strength. For those really grindy reps at the end of an intense set of single. Yeah, I really loved hyperextensions. GHD, 45, all that, man. Big fan of it. So much so that I ended up buying a GHD, and they're not very cheap at all. Connection's fine now. Okay, good. Good. Anyway, fellas, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna get back inside. Shorter session today. Tomorrow's probably gonna be a little longer with the deadlifts on board. But I'll catch you guys same time tomorrow. Same time tomorrow. Here, there, 30 minutes. I'll hit another session. Con, Dimos, thank you, man. There's no running away from problems. You have to solve them and then go from there. Thank you, guys. Lemon Lime Squeeze, appreciate you, man. Greg, appreciate you. I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow, eh? Peace out, Jim. Appreciate you guys. All right, have a good one, guys. Peace out.